2023 is going to be a critical year for the ServiceNow ecosystem. My prediction is that the meta is going to change significantly for those in the job market due to several factors caused by what I would like to call a perfect storm. On the flip side, for those of you who are employed, especially consultants, some of you may end up becoming more stressed out next year if you continue the status quo. Each year that passes, more is expected from all of us, and if your knowledge of the platform has basically remained the same year over year, then it's guaranteed that you will fall behind. For both veterans and new entrants, you must approach 2023 with a more aggressive perspective. So, what can you do to stay ahead of the pack? Stay tuned to find out. Hi, my name is Alan Andreas and welcome to Alanovation. In this video, we're going to discuss strategic ways you can prepare yourself to have a successful year of growth as a member of the ServiceNow community. For context, ServiceNow continues to grow rapidly year over year as deals are becoming increasingly larger. Contracts with IT operations management are the second most common and were seen in 17 of the top 20 deals in this past quarter alone. Security and risk were in 15 of the top 20, and customer and employee workflows were in 12 of the top 20. Additionally, customers who have more than $1 million in annual contract value increased by 264 compared to last year. ServiceNow customers are investing more into this wonderful platform, and the point I'm trying to make is that a good portion of individuals in the ServiceNow ecosystem sit comfortably in and around the ITSM bubble, with little to no initiative to explore and go outside that realm. That may have worked in years past, but as ServiceNow continues to grow rapidly, if it's not already obvious, 2023 will need to be the year where you truly expand your skill set to other areas of the platform, or you will get left behind. Individuals brand new to the ecosystem only seem to hear and think about ITSM, as well as through the training that they're receiving, and again, the perspective must change in 2023. Let me make it clear that I am not saying to run out and learn the entire platform. No one can do that. What I am saying is that ITSM is foundational, and that is something we all should know, but for your career growth and success, it is strongly encouraged to take the time to level up and learn another area of the platform. As mentioned previously, ITOM is the second most common package customers are purchasing. If you're looking for a recommendation on where to skill up next, it wouldn't be a bad idea to think about ITOM. You'll want to focus on learning applications such as discovery, service mapping, event management, and more. If ITOM does not sound interesting to you, then I would highly recommend HR or customer service management. Otherwise, speak with your organization's platform owner. If you're employed with a ServiceNow customer about other areas of the platform, it may be wise to focus on. The parallel to ServiceNow enhancing the platform, introducing new features and products, acquiring new customers, and landing deals that are growing larger year over year is the need for ServiceNow trained talent to be able to handle the increase in demand, both in terms of adding trained individuals to the ServiceNow ecosystem, but also with closing the skill gap. It's no secret that there's a shortage of talent. You can look at a majority of ServiceNow customer and partner career pages, and you'll see all sorts of ServiceNow specific job listings posted. On top of that, we're sitting at an estimated 1% unemployment rate, and hundreds of thousands of jobs are going to be added by 2024. So, how do we fill all those jobs? Well, one way is through ServiceNow's RiseUp program. With RiseUp, ServiceNow plans to skill 1 million people on the platform by 2024. As another layer to this program, there's the ServiceNow Partner Placement Program, which is designed to help new talent find jobs, as well as allow for customers and partners to get access to a pipeline of skilled individuals. We've already seen waves of people completing various next-gen and other externship programs. However, there is a concern of how skilled that new talent will be as they enter this demanding job market. The new talent will be learning the fundamentals of the platform: no-code, low-code development, learning ITSM. Most will have an access to an alumni network, and they'll be exposed to more thorough training than most of us had when we first entered the ServiceNow market. So, if all the new talent has all that going on for themselves, and a good portion of current ServiceNow professionals are not really learning much else about the platform, what do you think is going to happen? Either the new talent will quickly catch up to you and eventually pass you, or if you're part of the new talent coming in, you could be placed in non-traditional starter positions and jump right to roles and projects that are viewed as a bit more advanced. This could ultimately lead to imposter syndrome, stress, and burnout. In either scenario, I feel there's going to be a higher level of expectation for new talent coming in through these new programs, and unless an organization has a well-designed training program to onboard these new individuals and continue to help them along, and to be honest, today, not many organizations do, this entire plan to introduce all these new people to the ServiceNow ecosystem could turn into a huge mess. Organizations are going to need time to properly build out their training programs to support the influx, and until then, you could be left flailing and feeling stranded. So, what can you do about all of this? How do you take control of your own future? You should ask yourself the following question: what will separate me from the huge influx of individuals joining the ServiceNow ecosystem? Now, this question applies to individuals already in the ecosystem as well as new entrants. If you're a veteran, sure, you have more real-world experience, but have you increased your knowledge of the ServiceNow platform beyond just basic fundamental components and ITSM? Be warned that these newly skilled individuals are going to be hungry for success and the potential for a higher salary. They're going to be motivated, and they're going to come in like a flood. For new entrants, it's going to be extremely important that you differentiate yourself from others and showcase why employers should hire you, even with a lack of real-world experience. For veterans or new entrants, how do you differentiate yourself? Well, here's a few things you can do. Establish a drip feed. Now, this does not mean that you turn on the fire hose and overwhelm yourself with all of this information being blasted at you. It means the opposite. Consider subscribing to ServiceNow podcasts and ServiceNow focused YouTube channels that you feel provide content that you're interested in, such as this awesome channel. If you're not on LinkedIn, get on LinkedIn and follow the ServiceNow hashtag, which in turn will expose you to a community of ServiceNow individuals who share neat tips and tricks about the platform. There's also the ServiceNow Devs Slack channel, SN Devs, which is home to the largest independent developer community. The point of this goal is to set up a drip feed of information that passively exposes you to great information about the ServiceNow platform and keeps you in the know. You don't have to think about the topics to search for. It comes right to you. Learn something new each day. To go along with the previous point, you should set the goal to learn something new every day. If the drip feed you've established above doesn't passively net you that new tip or trick, consider visiting the ServiceNow community forums and read over the posts there, or contribute and help someone with their issue. You'd be surprised at the number of times I've gone to help someone and I ended up not only helping them, but then learned something new based on some investigation work I did within my free personal developer instance. Sometimes it had nothing to do with their question, but it was something that caught my eye. Practice, practice, practice. You can read books, blogs, and articles. You can watch videos, shorts, and TikTok videos, but in the end, you really need to practice. You can follow the same concepts shown on ServiceNow's Now Learning platform. In almost all of their courses, you learn about the content, and then there's a lab exercise associated with the material. It's extremely important for you to get hands-on with what you're reading or watching. Teach others. If you find something interesting or you've seen something that you've heard or inspires you to go do something on the platform, share it with us. Be a contributor within the ServiceNow community. Write an article on the community forums or make a post on social media. Did you know that you can increase the likelihood of you retaining that information to almost 90% by teaching others and applying it? I highly encourage you to be part of knowledge sharing within the ecosystem. But did you also know that you can be featured in your very own Now Learning course as part of ServiceNow's community-created content program? I've personally been featured in my very own course on Now Learning that's currently available and is focused on the business analyst role and their responsibilities within a project. Feel free to check that out sometime. It's always recommended to work smarter, not harder. So what tools are available to you to help you work smarter? In addition to everything else I've previously mentioned, YouTube, ServiceNow Community, Now Learning, LinkedIn, etc., there's also Now Create. This website provides tons of content to help you with implementation, upgrades, and more that includes step-by-step guidance based on real work experience, exposing you to leading practices, accelerators, workshop material, process documentation, and more. If you're working with a new product or feature of the platform that you don't know much about, in addition to reviewing the ServiceNow documentation, Now Create is truly an amazing resource to leverage. Be honest with yourself. You are the only person who truly knows your skill and knowledge level of the platform. You are the only person who knows how much effort you put into that externship program or during the past year at your current job. If you take a step back and think about it, could you have done more? It's important for all of us to not take these moments for granted, and we should honestly challenge ourselves to stay ahead. If you need help with cleaning up your resume, there are tons of tips out there within the ServiceNow community related to producing a strong resume on your own. You shouldn't need to hire a professional resume writer. If in this past year you didn't seek additional training or get a new certification, let's change that for next year. If you've been steering clear of being more involved in a leadership role or avoided volunteering for certain opportunities for fear of failure, let's change that for next year. You have to take care of yourself and put yourself forward, so let's take full advantage of 2023 and really step up our game. I've created a few videos explaining the importance of why you should get trained and become certified, but there's a small portion of the community who don't feel it's worth it. Regardless of your position on the matter, it doesn't change the fact that majority of all the job descriptions posted require ServiceNow training and/or certifications. It doesn't change the fact that having training and certifications give you more credibility, and it doesn't change the fact that within the realm of consulting, most organizations are not going to put you on projects where you have no training or certification on the matter. Some might, and best of luck to you and your employer's reputation, but majority will not. So how do you increase your chance to get put on projects outside of ITSM to stay ahead of the pack? You go to Now Learning and get trained. You attend in-house training if it's offered. You ask about shadowing opportunities. You network with peers and join groups focused on the topic. You let leadership know you want to learn more. You practice within your personal developer instance. You follow tips like what I've shared in this video. And then when you're ready, you get your certification. There are more certified ServiceNow professionals today than ever before. It is not a race to obtain all the certifications that exist. Nobody likes a cert chaser. It's all about learning an additional topic area of the platform as thorough as you can, adding it to your tool belt, and as a byproduct, the certification helps showcase to others that you can apply the knowledge and have put in the respective time and effort, which in turn increases your chances to participate in opportunities that align to that focus area. The last thing I want to cover is salary. While there is a talent shortage across the ServiceNow ecosystem, it's not just a shortage in individuals, but a shortage in skill, a talent gap. I've said this before that if you think graduating from an externship program is going to guarantee you a job and net you a salary of $100,000 or more, it will not guarantee that. And if for some reason you still think it does, it certainly will become less likely when there's hundreds of thousands of newly skilled individuals flooding the ecosystem over the next year or two. You may get a job, and it's reasonable to see a somewhat higher salary than what most of you were making before, but your story shouldn't end there. Don't let your job or others dictate the tempo of your growth in this industry. You must differentiate yourself. While we're in the maturity era of the ServiceNow journey, it's not so much a focus on customers starting with just ITSM and then sitting there for a year or two before buying another ServiceNow product. As mentioned earlier, customers new and old are investing in the platform in a far wider scope, account values are increasing, their business needs within the platform are far more complex, and they want to realize value by seeing and feeling the return on investment quickly. To obtain the highest salary you can in this ecosystem, you need to be able to adapt, and you should never stop learning and growing. You alone control your destiny. You can certainly follow along with the pack, or you can strategically and tactfully move towards the front and be a leader. Take advantage of the fact that you came across this video and this call to action. You have a critical decision to make for 2023, so what are you going to do? We've covered a lot of great information today, and hopefully you feel motivated towards taking the reins of your ServiceNow career and having a successful 2023 with lots of growth. If you have questions, concerns, or other thoughts, feel free to leave a comment below or reach out to me on LinkedIn. I sincerely appreciate you taking the time to watch this video, and if you enjoy ServiceNow content like this, please consider subscribing to the channel and like this video. Once again, my name is Alan Andreas, host of Allenovation, and until next time, take care.